I have to make sure I hide my glasses from you because there are 12 pair. Is it pair or pairs? I never know how to say that. There are 12 pairs of eyeglasses around the house. Like, what are you trying to see?
Everything.
What are you trying to see?
Everything. Every room.
They're on the hutch. They're on the couch. They're in the spare bedroom.
They are.
Like, nobody's even in there.
Because if I have my phone with me and I get a call or a text, not a call, but if I get a text and I'm in the spare bedroom, I cannot read it without glasses. So then I'm running, like trying to find glasses. So just have them in every room. I literally have them in every single room.
There are two on the TV stand. There are two sets of eyeglasses on the TV stand.
Yeah.
You're getting old.
I am. I know.
I know it's probably not polite for a man to say to a woman.
You're getting old too. You have glasses.
I know. I lost my keys for a week and a half here in the studio.
And you know what? When we're out at restaurants, he needs glasses, and guess whose glasses he borrows every single time? One of my 12 pairs that I bring.
I was going to say, because we all know you have a pair on you.
Of course. Anyone need glasses? Anyone? I have glasses. I have 2 pairs on me right now. We're all good. I've got it covered.
Speaking of got it covered, we are going to do the Plymouth, Massachusetts episode today. It is Thanksgiving, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Let's roll on this episode. Turkey.
Gobble, gobble.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hey listeners, ever wonder what it would be like to blow up your comfort zone at the tender age of 50? Well, we did just that. When our last kid went off to college, we hit the road in search of a new hometown. Now we bounce from city to city and bring you along for the ride. This is the Skiptown All-Stars podcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome back for another episode of Skiptown All-Stars. We are here at the Podcast Doctor Studios in Orlando, Florida. It is our new home away from home. Pretty
It
psyched.
is.
You?
I love it. I'm so happy we're here.
I
Yeah.
know.
These
Really
digs are really great.
Want to take a quick second to introduce Phil Bird, our producer here at the studios. Say hi, Phil, to everyone.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me on. You guys ready to talk
We
about
get to see
Thanksgiving?
you this week. We're psyched.
I exist.
Last week, you were the voice on Quebec City. Now we get to put a face to the name.
And the voice.
And a voice.
Yes. This is perfect.
Let me just apologize right now for all the subscribers you just lost. So, sorry.
It's okay. We're going to ask you to help us make it back.
That's right.
I got you.
We are not afraid. Anyway, thanks for joining us, Phil. Today, we're talking about Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm, we are.
How you feeling about Thanksgiving, Trixie?
I love Thanksgiving. Even though millennials are hating on Thanksgiving hard.
They are.
I think it's TikTok that made everyone hate Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. I will do the traditional Thanksgiving meal. I'm not substituting it for steak or fish or pork. I mean, nope, I'm going straight up turkey.
Straight up turkey.
Yep.
With all the gravy and all the fixins.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that a little later. Your favorites, your
Yeah.
top 5, your bottom 5 when it comes to Thanksgiving food.
Yeah.
Can't wait to talk about that. But let's talk about Thanksgiving for a quick second. For me, obviously, being a football fan, I'm always excited to see the Detroit Lions lose on Thanksgiving. However, I will say they're probably going to win this year. They're a damn good team. The Detroit Lions are good this year. I know as a Bears fan, you're not used to hearing that.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah.
Does Detroit lose every year? Is it just kind of like a Thanksgiving tradition? We're like, Detroit's playing, Detroit is going to lose.
It is a Thanksgiving tradition that they're playing, but I actually looked up the stats, and they are 37, 43, and 2. So
okay.
it's pretty even.
What's 2? Tied?
Yeah, 2 ties.
Wait,
There have
how
been
do you-
eras in the National Football League where ties have been sort of allowed. I think it's even possible to get a tie now.
How?
Actually.
They have overtime.
They do, but after a certain point, it's just a tie.
They just give up because it's the Lions.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. But I remember as a kid, there were always Detroit fans with the bags over their heads. Like, they invented that, where they poked the 2 holes in the brown paper bag. They were the anonymous fans that were too ashamed to show their faces in the stands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So do people get excited about the Lions every Thanksgiving because it's a tradition and it's part of the tradition? Or do people, like, are they more, like football fans, are they more of the mindset that we want to see somebody different on Thanksgiving? What is it?
Well, funny you should ask, because over the years, people did get tired of seeing the Detroit Lions all by themselves playing one other team. Normally it's like Green Bay or Dallas or somebody, but there are 2 games now. on Thanksgiving. And this year, there's actually going to be a Black Friday game.
Oh,
Promises
wow.
to be a good one. Maybe. I don't know. I guess not. It's Miami versus the Jets. And I don't want to get too far into sports in this episode.
Okay.
I was going somewhere and then we got off on this detour talking. You know, I could talk sports all day. But anyway, I'm pretty excited because in addition to all the college games over the weekend that have all sorts of bowl implications and you name it for the beginning of the year, now we have 3 NFL games. Pretty dope.
All right. So I know where you'll be.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh, Thanksgiving isn't like a big TV time. I mean, you know, usually the girls want to do Black Friday shopping. So that's what we have historically done. It started when they were young. I mean, they saw it on the news one time and then someone went like mad in the house running all over saying there's a thing called Black Friday shopping. The next thing I know, I'm taking them to a mall in Lake Havasu.
I know. I was going to say we went to Lake Havasu every single year. Population 12.
There's like
at that
nothing.
time of year.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
I think we did Black Friday shopping at JCPenney.
Dillard's.
Your favorite store?
I know. We went to my favorite store.
JCPenney, not Dillard's.
I know.
And then I think we even took them to like, I don't even know. Was it, I think Tuesday morning? They have such limited stores. So then one year I promised them that we would drive to Las Vegas and do Black Friday shopping there. And they were so excited. We got up at 5 a.m, drove 2 hours, hit the outlets in Vegas. And do you remember what happened?
I don't. Oh, yeah. One of our daughters had left a bag behind or had one stolen or something.
Yeah, she was fooling around. She had all of her...
Oh, it was Ellie.
Exactly.
Naturally.
Yeah, she was fooling around.
Yeah.
And she set her bag down and turned and started like doing something stupid with her sisters and walked away.
Yeah.
And then the bag was gone. All of her Christmas gifts were in that bag.
They were.
Yeah, she cried 2 hours all the way home.
She did.
Yeah.
She cried all the way back to Lake Havasu. I remember that. She's
and you know whose gifts got stolen, don't you?
Ours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get anything that year.
No,
from
I didn't
Ellie.
either. Yeah.
She was. I was going to say, so Ellie is the kid in our family where if the ice cream truck is coming down the street and the older kids are all near the ice cream truck, she's the one they send back running to the house to get money.
Right.
And between the house and the ice cream truck, a $20 bill gets lost.
Yep.
She's that kid.
Yep.
So she's always been that kid. Never does her paperwork, she does her schoolwork. She gets great grades. But when it comes to sort of red tape and responsibility, she's like, I'm out. So
she's the kid that lost a shoe. Like,
oh yeah, she lost a shoe camping. Yeah, she had to finish 2 days of a camping trip without a shoe.
It wasn't just camping. She lost a shoe like at school.
Oh.
Like came in the car with just one shoe on.
Yeah.
And I was like, how does that happen? Like you see the one shoe in the lost and found box and you wonder when you're at school looking for your kid's thermos, who left school with just one shoe? My kid. Yep. My kid left school with one shoe.
Definitely our kid. All right, so let's get into Thanksgiving and how they hate it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Do you remember when you were growing up? It was a long time ago. But if you think back, do you remember questioning Thanksgiving and your teachers shutting that down?
Well, first off, you were in a Catholic school.
Not in grade school. It was public.
Because they don't like it when people question anything.
They do not. But this was a public school. It was high school when I was in a Catholic school in high school. But I remember in grade school, and the teacher was like, "Stop, Denise. You're just upsetting the kids." And then our kids came along, and they really like honed in on Thanksgiving. So if it were up to our kids, Thanksgiving would be steak, baked potato, and Black Friday shopping.
Yeah. It'd be basically July 4th.
It would be.
It'd be
without the fireworks.
It'd be a July 4th sale at Journey or H&R. What is it?
H&M.
H&R. Oh my gosh.
What's H&R?
I know. You tell.
They love going to human resources.
Yeah, human resources. I can't. I mean, this is going to surprise you, but I can't exactly buy the clothes at H&M. So, it's not my store. Pass the curve on that. So, but let's talk real quick about the first Thanksgiving, which was in 1621, because the Pilgrims landed in 1620, as you know, at Plymouth Rock.
Okay.
Most of them were dead.
By 1622.
Most of the Pilgrims were dead by 1621. 90 Native Americans came, 22 Pilgrim men, 4 women. Yeah, those ladies were busy.
Oh my gosh.
And the rest were teenagers and babies.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I know. The food may have been turkey, but probably was not.
I actually know that as well.
I know. I think a lot of Americans do at this point.
It's probably fish, right? I mean, they're right by the water.
There was a lot of cod and bass, mostly those types of fish.
Yeah.
But there was also it's believed there was also a significant presence of eel.
Nobody ever talks about a Thanksgiving eel.
Nobody talks about Thanksgiving eel because nobody talks about eel as, generally, unless you're going out for sushi. That's it. Like, that's the only time anybody ever consumes eel.
So gross.
So
I don't like eel. I know it's people love it, but I'm not an eel fan.
I worked on an MTV show once where the kids were doing a survival challenge on an island. Stranded with $1 Million was the name of the show. They were stuck out there with $1 million, but they had to feed themselves off the land. It was basically Survivor with, at that point, millennials, I guess. And in one episode, they actually fashioned some spears and managed to get themselves some protein by killing eels in the creek.
Okay. First of all, it's not a creek. It's creek, and it was in the ocean.
It was not in the ocean.
Are eels freshwater?
Eels are freshwater.
Oh, look, I just learned something.
They
Phil, did you know eels
spawn-
were freshwater?
No, I did not know that.
Oh.
They spawn in salt water, but they actually live their lives in freshwater.
They go through the land to get back to the
They do
freshwater.
not no, honey. They do not climb over the land.
Okay, how do they get
The
from the salt water?
The water empties out into the salt water, like the Mississippi River empties out into the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay, there we go.
They
there
do
we
not.
Go.
Oh my Lord! You
I
think
thought-
they just had legs, or they slid like snakes?
Slid. I thought they slid like snakes.
They do not.
Because alligators do that. You know that. Alligators will do that. Like alligators will find their way into salt water and then get back into fresh water.
Okay, but alligators have legs to walk on the land.
Okay, but an eel, like a snake, you never know.
This goes back to your science department in your high school.
You never
Just
know.
not being
It could
very
be a
good.
possibility. Okay, so just stop
They
right
just started
now.
sliding around on the ground, and they're like, "We need an ocean."
Hey, I'm not the only one who's thinking that right now. Okay, I am not the only one who's thinking that they could have gone crossing. They could have crossed the land.
Okay, first let's go to the fowl that they ate, the birds that they ate. Duck or geese, most likely. They also think maybe carrier pigeons or swans.
Oh, they were eating swans.
They were eating swans.
They were savages, really.
They really were.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they're just trying to survive. They're eating eel for crying out loud.
I know.
Going back to the stuffing.
Far cry from
it
turkey.
was probably not bread. There probably was bread at the feast, but not inside the birds, not inside the carrier pigeon, because
The carrier pigeons were pregnant.
at that time, really the only thing people used
I just had to say
were
that.
pregnant.
Yeah, they're not stuffing them because they're pregnant. Like something crazy, right?
No, it's because they didn't have breaded stuffing back then. What are you
It
on?
just came from out of nowhere. Okay, go ahead.
Onions and nuts. That's what the stuffing consisted of. So, two things that you hate.
Yeah, it is true.
So it would have been the worst Thanksgiving meal ever.
Eel?
But it was the first one. Eel and carrier pigeons stuffed with onions and nuts. Pregnant carrier pigeons.
This is terrible. This sounds terrible.
It does. It sounds like.
Not for me.
Yeah. There were pumpkins. Although pumpkin pie was not a fixture at Thanksgiving until like the 1920s or something like that, because that's when the Libby Corporation began putting it in cans, and wives could just plop it out of the can, spread it around, and bake it, I guess. Phil, do you know how pumpkin pie is made?
Black people don't eat pumpkin pie. We eat sweet potato pie, man. Get that mess out of here.
You don't mess around with pumpkins?
No.
All about the sweet potato.
All about the sweet potatoes, but it's homemade. The sweet potato pies are homemade.
Sweet potatoes, incidentally, brought to the United States from the Caribbean. Did you know
They
that?
were never a staple at Thanksgiving either.
They were not, yeah.
So the only thing real about Thanksgiving dinner is the pumpkin.
That's about it.
That sounds like a really terrible Thanksgiving meal.
I know.
Why
so
are we
have a lot to be
celebrating?
Thanksgiving. We have a lot to be thankful for. That's my point.
We really do.
We're going to have gravy. Gravy was definitely not at the first Thanksgiving.
No. Did you know that Plymouth, Mass has a parade that they do 2 times in the month of November? It's
Thanksgiving parade?
Yeah, it's one time, but then they replay it. So yeah, they have a Thanksgiving parade. People are all dressed up like pilgrims and soldiers and I don't know if they have Native people dress up as Native
Probably
Americans.
ill-advised
I
in
would
2023.
Yeah, I don't think they have that, but it's
Yeah.
on usually November 18th, and then they replay it the morning of Thanksgiving,
Okay.
and then they also on the morning of Thanksgiving in Plymouth, not on the morning, but at noon, I found this. They have it's called the National Day of Mourning, where Native Americans go out and do their own type of observance of Thanksgiving, and they have speakers and just in remembrance of the genocide basically of Native Americans.
Oh, wow. That's pretty heavy
And white people are generally not invited.
with probably good reason.
Yeah,
huh?
I mean, they even say it on the website, like, you can come, but all of our speakers are Native American, so don't think you're going to get up there and say something, because there's always going to be a white hippie there who's like, I'm in solidarity with you.
Vermont's right up the street.
Right. So there's always going to be some white hippies there. They're like, I'm your people, I'm with you. And,
Yeah.
they're just like, oh, here comes the white hippies,
I'm sure they all have dreadlocks, and they're all, yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
My guess is, though, they don't want to see them.
My guess is they probably don't, especially if it's a day of mourning.
And they do it at Plymouth Rock.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
So they go right back to the site.
Yeah.
I know, but then you get those old fuddy-duddies who are like 12th generation Mayflower descendants, and they're like, oh, why do they have to do it here? And
Of course.
the Pilgrims never hurt anybody. And,
They're trying to make Thanksgiving great again.
Yeah, they're just yeah, there are people that want to make Thanksgiving great again in the Plymouth, Mass area.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's okay. Since I said it, it's okay. They won't bother you guys.
They're going to come at you now.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so Plymouth, Massachusetts, population 61,000.
Oh, it's small.
Fairly small, yeah.
That's actually small.
It's actually grown 5.5% since 2020. You'll be happy to know.
Oh, because of COVID.
Because of COVID, because of the pandemic. Average commute, 33 minutes.
2.
Work.
Where do they work?
I don't know what the industry is. I didn't get that deep.
Average commute, 33 minutes. It's pretty short. I mean,
Seems a lot, actually.
I actually think 20 should be the number for an average commute, but 33, okay, I'll take it.
I think the general area of Plymouth, Mass is actually rather large. We're talking in terms of
Miles?
square miles.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I think it's pretty large comparatively for the 61,000 who are there. Cost of living higher by 31% than the rest of the U.S.
Why is it so expensive to live there?
I don't know because, so the median income is just under 100,000 a year, which is pretty high compared to a lot of other places.
Yeah.
Median home price is 547,000.
Oh, it's really expensive.
It is pretty expensive, but then I found like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house for like $400K, and it looked nice on maybe like a quarter to a half an acre or something like that. So there are places, but then there are also 4-bedroom houses, 3 baths that are like 1.2 million.
So is the miles of how big it is? I don't know. Okay, I know, but it's on the water. So is it just because it's waterfront property? Like, is that why the cost? Is this where like wealthy people live because it's by the water? We always find this wherever we go. Waterfront property is always expensive, no matter what and where you are.
I'm not sure. I mean,
It's got to be because of the water that's expensive.
It is in between Cape Cod and Boston. So there's probably some spill on either side that contributes. Like, I mean, let's face it, especially the Boston area is not an inexpensive place to live in the United States. So
it's got to be because it's the history, right? That's got to be the selling point, right?
Maybe like you think that, but not always. We've been to places that are drenched in history, and it's not always expensive to live. So that's why I'm wondering, is it more because it's waterfront area? I don't know. I think that's very pricey. I would never have thought Plymouth, Mass would be $500,000 homes. I just didn't.
Yeah. Crime is below the nationwide average.
Okay.
13 sort of crimes, theft, whatever, violent crime per 1,000 U.S. residents. That's
pretty low.
That's pretty low. And then the northwest neighborhoods are generally the ones you want to stay away from if you're buying property.
Oh.
I guess they're just not very good neighborhoods.
Bad neighborhood.
Yeah. And then last thing is, did you know there's a nuclear power plant?
No.
In that area.
No.
Yeah. It just, there's not anymore. They decommissioned it in 2019.
And the houses were still $550,000.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Wow. That's so crazy. That is so crazy.
I know. So that's another consideration if you're going to move there, especially when the prices are that expensive, you know.
When they decommission a power plant, a nuclear power plant.
Do they really?
I know. I know. Do they really? Yep.
I did think about that.
I know.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the deal on Plymouth, Mass that I dug up. For those of you who are interested in looking at it.
But getting there is another story.
Yeah. So let's talk about that.
Okay. So here are some stats that I found. Driving has become quite popular during Thanksgiving, because it's hard to catch a flight. I mean, flights are delayed. Did you know that 4.5 million people flew in 2022? 54 million people drove.
Wow.
Isn't that insane? 54 million people drove.
That's a lot of people.
That is. And then
That's a lot of people.
okay, do you know
that's 1/6 of the population of the United States. Maybe 1/7.
And out of 54 million people that drove, 10,000 get a flat tire.
Oh.
A year. 10,000.
I thought you were going to say died.
Oh God. I didn't do death rates, on Thanksgiving. I just didn't want to spoil.
Let's stay away from that.
Yeah, I wanted to make
I got a little factoid for you later on.
All right. Are we going to do the death tour on this?
Yeah, we're not totally doing the death tour.
Okay, so 10,000 people every year get a flat tire traveling to their Thanksgiving dinner. Isn't that crazy?
That sucks.
Yeah, that does suck.
Remember that year where our engine just totally froze up?
Yeah.
We had to get a new transmission.
Yeah. We had to pull over on the side of the road and and then go back home.
And the guy towed us.
Yep.
Loaded a GMC Acadia up onto the back of a flatbed with 5 people, a dog, and the luggage for everyone for a week.
And took us all back to LA, and it took almost 2 hours because we were halfway there.
And we got stopped, and where we died and pulled off the freeway, it was in front of a little redneck strip club. Remember that?
It was, yeah. And the kids kept asking what the bright lights were.
Right.
And I was like, oh, it's where people go and dance.
It sounds like the start of the movie From Dusk Till Dawn.
It does.
Oh, it really does.
It does.
You're right.
I mean,
it does.
if it had not been so, I guess it was eerily quiet there, but if it had not been so desolate, other than the gas station.
Well, there was a diner next door to the strip club.
Yeah, well, guys got to eat. So
it looked like a movie set. Remember, I kept saying to you, this can't be real.
It looked legit like a movie set because there's only 3 buildings. And they shot the entire season in all 3 of those buildings. The gas station / grocery store, the diner, and the strip club. It was like an episode of Yellowstone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. So, and then I have another factoid. How many flights do you think got delayed in 2022, if you had to guess? For that weekend. So they consider the weekend, the week of Thanksgiving, Tuesday through Sunday. Okay. So when you look at, aviation details.
Right.
How many flights do you think in 2022 were delayed? Not canceled,
A percentage
delayed.
or number?
Number.
Oh,
if you had to guess.
I don't know, 1,000 flights.
Really?
Yeah.
You have a lot of faith in American travel. Holy cow.
I say 40,000. No, 4,000.
He guessed it. It's 4,000.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, you got it right on the money. Did you Google that?
I did not. I am sitting here
His hands are on the
pushing
board.
the buttons.
4,000 flights were delayed in 2022. Okay,
Wow.
Here's one for you guys. How many were canceled? Straight up canceled.
Straight up canceled.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, I'm going
This
back
number's
to
going to throw you. This number's going to throw you in a good way. It's not.
I'm going to
what
go
you
back to
expect.
1,000.
Phil,
1,260.
guys, only 109.
Really?
Only
Oh,
109
they wanted that
flights were
money. They
canceled.
wanted that Thanksgiving money.
They were a lot delayed because they can delay you to death and not give you back your money.
They don't care if you wake up on Thanksgiving morning sleeping on a duffel bag.
No, they don't care. All right, if you had to guess, what is the average wait time in TSA during Thanksgiving?
4 hours.
Average wait time.
And this is from TSA website. I got this from. So
From
They're
arriving
lying
to
too.
the-
no, it's true. Exactly.
From arriving to the airport to getting to your gate.
Just going through the checkout. No, just going through the TSA checkout. How long do you think you have to wait during the Thanksgiving holiday? Again, it's Tuesday through Sunday. So it's going there or leaving to go home. So
You said how long, Phil?
4 hours?
4 hours? I would say 2.5.
6 minutes.
No way.
Yeah, 6 minutes is the wait time. I checked 3 different places. It ranged from 6 to 9 minutes. And I'm like,
I wait longer at McDonald's.
6 to 9 minutes.
That does not sound safe.
What do you mean?
All the people getting onto a flight with only 6 minutes of TSA
It's a lie.
love time.
It's a lie. Look, you and I have waited 6 minutes just to get from Orlando to Chicago, like during a Tuesday in June. Like there's no way it's 6 minutes during the Thanksgiving holiday. They're lying.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then one other fact I have for you. Bags lost. The average bags
I can't even
lost.
imagine.
It's really low.
No
it's
way.
really low. 5 per every 1,000.
5 per every 1,000. And how many people flew?
4,000.
4 million, you said.
Oh, sorry, 4 million. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4,000 were the delays. 4 million. Do your math.
4 million divided by 1,000. That's a lot of bags. That's like 20,000 bags.
It's a lot of bags.
Are you doing the math? Is someone doing the math?
No.
Let's do the math.
Okay.
So if we do, okay, so we have
4 million divided by 1,000
it's 4,000.
times 5. 20,000 bags.
You were right. 20,000 bags.
Yeah.
20,000 bags lost during Thanksgiving.
Have you guys ever had New Year bags lost? Were you
He
tracking?
has.
I did.
I
Just
have not.
recently coming back from Egypt. Yeah.
Oh.
I haven't. Have you?
No, I don't. I travel light.
You got lucky.
Do you do a carry-on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a bag lost in San Juan. Yeah, it's a thing with me. I had a bag lost in San Juan, Puerto Rico. I had a bag lost in Philly for a wedding. I'd say, once every 7 or 8 years, yeah, an airline loses one of my bags.
They're targeting you.
They are.
I think you're being profiled.
Yeah. It's kind of like a different list.
Have you ever been stopped? Like got the whole check where they pulled you guys back?
Not me,
like,
but
spread 'em.
Denise.
Me, quite often.
Why? What happened?
I got sassy with someone.
You look suspicious.
I got sassy with a girl at the ticket booth.
For the next 10 years.
Yeah, it's
I would
true.
just, it was so funny. We would scan our boarding pass getting into the jetway, and I would just keep walking.
Because it happens so often. So
Yeah.
I got sassy with her. I don't know what airline it is. I don't remember. It was many, many years ago. I was checking my bag. And
Could have been anyone.
It could have been anyone. And what happened was when I went to go board that flight, I got pulled aside.
Yeah.
And I was like, this has never happened. So they pulled me aside, and then it happened probably for 5 years after
Yeah.
that.
I said
And
10, but probably at least 5 years.
yeah. Yeah, like it got to the point where I would be walking, like just walking toward the entrance of the plane. I haven't even entered the jetway yet. I just passed. I mean, I remember thinking I just passed the airline attendant that scanned my ticket. I'm good. She didn't stop me. Do you remember that one time somebody grabbed my arm? They literally
Right at
grabbed
the
my
last
arm
second.
and my neck like did one of those because they pulled my arm so hard.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's random. And I was like, this crap. It's not random.
Yeah, it's not random.
Yeah. So
They had it out
stopped.
for you for a good long while.
Yeah, it stopped after like 5 years. So don't get sassy with like anyone at the counter.
Especially
Word to the wise.
Post 9/11.
No, it was before 9/11, wasn't it?
It was
it
no,
post
it was
9/11?
after. I think it was.
Did we have
after.
kids?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Huh. Okay.
yeah. I've had trips where I've gotten the entire family onto the plane without you
Oh, yeah, I
because you were
guess
back
so.
there getting frisked.
Okay, that's happened. Yeah, I actually got pat down more than once.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So was me, Phil.
Criminals.
I know.
I would
sure,
always
for
say
sure.
like, you see my kids, like what? Why are you? They don't care.
Yeah. All right. Is that it for travel?
I think that's it for travel. I mean, those are pretty good fun facts.
Those are great fun facts.
Oh, wait, I've got one more.
last one.
more. The longest traffic jam in Thanksgiving history was shattered in 2021 when there was a whopping 150-mile standstill traffic reported on the infamous.
I-5.
Close. There's a 5 in it. Yes, Phil?
Oh, I have no idea.
95.
Yes.
Oh,
the
where?
95. It didn't,
DC to New York or somewhere.
I would imagine. It didn't say the location, it said the infamous I-95 corridor.
gotta be one of those
It says
two, yeah.
I-95 corridor.
Yeah, but 95 goes the whole country on
Yeah.
the
It
eastern
does.
side.
I mean, just traveling on it recently, the worst congestion I found was
150 miles,
leaving
though,
New
you guys.
Jersey all the way to Virginia was bad. So
That wasn't Thanksgiving.
it wasn't Thanksgiving,
So could you
but
imagine?
it was bad. That's
Was
the
it on
point.
95?
Yeah, it was on 995.
Okay. So you
yeah,
could be right.
It's probably a nightmare.
It could be the East Coast.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
150
So-
miles of traffic. I don't even think you can, probably didn't even make it.
Well, even if we're eating Libby's out of a can, we generally don't do anything for Thanksgiving. And for that, I'm thankful.
Me too.
Yeah. So anyway, okay, but let's get back to a topic we were touching on earlier, and that is Black Friday. I have some facts about Black Friday per U.S. News. More people visit Walmart on Black Friday than visit Disney World in Orlando, Florida all year.
That I did not know.
22 million versus 18.5 million. 22 million people go to Walmart.
That's a good fact. I would never have known that.
I don't go to Walmart on a Wednesday, let alone on a Thanksgiving. I had no idea that 22 million people went to a Walmart.
They must have really good sales on Black Friday. You see it on the news.
Those are the videos
I
you
know.
see all the time
People-
where
yeah.
like people are killing each other over
For
TV
TVs.
sets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like
I can see why now.
Anyway, okay, next one. Since 2006, this goes back to the death tour.
Okay.
Since 2006, more people have died shopping on Black Friday than in shark attacks.
Like because they got in car accidents going to the mall and leaving the mall?
Getting
Because
trampled.
of shootings and fightings and maybe accidents. Something related to tracking back to Black Friday and shopping.
Oh, it's a dangerous day to go out.
It's a dangerous day to go out.
It's like New Year's Eve.
Thank God Miami is playing the Jets this coming Friday.
You are going to be out of harm's way.
I am.
Me and the girls, we're going to be in trouble.
You are. You're going to be in trouble.
I'll wear a bulletproof vest.
Yeah. So in the recent news, Target is closed this year.
That's a big deal.
It is. Yeah. They're allowing their employees to be with their families, which is great.
For years people complained about this.
Yeah.
I can't believe Target's that's a huge national chain. I can't believe they're actually going to do something about it.
that's
Do you
what I
think
read.
other people will follow suit?
I don't know, because I got to tell you, there's one store that you're never going to guess is going to be open on Thanksgiving this year.
What?
Toys R Us.
Where?
Toys R
Where?
Us is
Are they coming back?
making a comeback. They have emerged from bankruptcy.
What?
There's a flagship store in, where's it called? The American Dream Mall in New Jersey, I guess. Anybody from up that way knows what we're talking about. This weekend, the weekend before Thanksgiving, as we're recording this, they are opening up their second store at the Mall of America.
That is Minneapolis.
In Minneapolis.
Wow,
Yeah.
they're coming back. Oh, we need a toy store.
They are.
We seriously need a toy store. I'm so happy they're coming back.
We actually need a sports store. I mean, I guess
No,
we have Dick's
no.
Sporting Goods.
There's
but
so many sports stores. No, we do not
no,
need a
there
sports
are
store.
none left.
Yes, there are. There's Big Five.
Sports Authority is gone. There's no Big Five. You're still in LA, honey. There's
Phil,
no Big Five in Orlando.
Okay, what's the sports stores here?
You are right, James. Though Sports Authority is gone. Dick's is the only other one.
It's kind of like it. And then the Nike store, if you want to go there and get brand specific, or the Adidas store, the outlet malls. You go to So anyway,
Play it against sports.
play it against sports. You can go to get sports equipment.
Yeah.
They're still around.
Okay, so I guess you're right.
Resale.
We need Toys R Us and another sporting goods store.
Yep. So, but furthering
I'm so excited about Toys R Us.
the footprint of Toys R Us, I guess they've actually struck a deal to be in 400 Macy's stores.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I went into a Macy's store where there was a Toys R Us. It was not good. Like, because it's Macy's, so they have no
Yeah.
employees that clean. It looks like
Yeah.
a dump. Everything is on the floor. It's
Sweatpants on the floor,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
God, I don't know. Toys R Us make a comeback. I'm not sure if Macy's was the place to go. I'd say go to Nordstrom or Dillard's where they keep their stores nice.
They should have went to Kohl's.
Oh, Kohl's would have been great.
Kohl's already has Sephora, though. They got
Toys
their
R Us-
hands full.
You know what though? Every time you go into a Kohl's, it looks very nice. Yeah.
It does.
I don't think Toys R Us should have done Macy's, but what do I know?
Yeah, we'll see. It does smell a little bit like Kmart matching up with Sears, a little bit.
Oh, it
you know
kind of
what I mean?
does, yeah.
Remember that for one hot minute,
Yep.
and then they died.
So they're both going to die
Horrible
together.
tragedy.
I hope
I
Toys
don't
R Us
know.
doesn't go down again.
I know it would suck if Toys R Us emerged from bankruptcy and still died.
Yeah.
So anyway, so
That is something to be thankful for, Toys R Us.
yeah. especially if you're a kid.
Uh-huh.
Hell, if you're a parent shopping for a kid,
Yeah.
you can just go to Toys R Us and
know.
buy toys again. Wow, what a concept.
Let me ask you a question. Is there anything that's like popular now? Because
Of course
with
there is.
toys. My son doesn't like toys. My son likes pipe cleaners. But anyway, what's the popular thing this year? Do y'all even
I don't
It is
know
a
because
popular
we
thing.
aren't that age, so
We're
I
past the
don't
cusp
know.
on
But
that,
yes, like
yeah.
last year was what, Paw Patrol? Like Paw Patrol
Oh,
was
yeah.
really popular
Paw
last
Patrol.
year.
My friend Jeff, his son was wearing a Paw Patrol hat.
Yeah, I remember that was a big deal. I don't know what it is now. I'd have to find out. I'd have to ask some people with kids.
I don't know either. I mean, I recently bought some toys for some kids, but I don't know. Like sharks and dinosaurs, like Jurassic Park and Marvel Heroes and all that is still, I think that's all still in play.
Huh. Okay.
I don't know what little girls want at this point. I mean, I'm sure
I don't know.
Barbie's exploded because of the movie again. So
Maybe.
Barbie never really went out of style, let's be
No.
honest.
Yeah.
So, no.
All
Anything?
right.
You got nothing?
I was asking if she knew, but she doesn't know either. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right.
There are stores that want, again, we talked about Target. REI is another one that's closed not only on Thanksgiving, but also on Black Friday, encouraging their customers and their employees to go out and spend time outdoors to their credit.
Guys, I didn't know if I told you this. We hold the world record for waiting outside for Black Friday.
Who's we?
Me and my former radio crew.
Wait, for real?
Really?
Yeah, look it up.
Is that right?
Guaranteed, it's the world record.
Okay, so
how
give us
many
the
days?
details. This is for the ESPN affiliate,
Yes.
Orlando.
So back when I worked for ESPN, the host that I worked with, his name is Kevin Sutton. He decided that he wanted to break the world record for waiting outside of a Best Buy for Black Friday.
Nice.
And I think Google credits him at 33 days, but it was 38 days that he was actually there. Did not leave, stayed out there, didn't shower. But it was mainly because he wanted to raise awareness for homelessness. So it wasn't like just I wanted a TV.
Yeah.
Granted, he did want to get a TV too, but it was because of that. So what we actually did, we turned into a big event and we turned into a food drive. So we had a big giant truck that was the show van, and we filled it up. And we had to get it towed out because the tires were flat because all the canned goods and stuff that we had. We had over 6 tons of food.
So you set the record,
set the
he
world
got
record.
a TV, and you had all that food to give back to the community.
How many
Absolutely.
families
That's wins across the board.
Yeah.
That is a win, but how many families did you feed that with that food?
Oh man, I don't remember the number, but I know they waited. It was like 6 tons of.
That's
of canned
amazing.
goods.
Wow.
But you can look it up. Look it up. Kevin Sutton is his name. We were out there. You see all the videos. We're on Good Morning America. All that stuff.
Oh, that's
that's
great.
awesome.
Oh, wow. Look at
There you go.
fun Orlando fact.
Fun Orlando fact.
What year
Phil
was that?
is a record holder.
2015.
Wow, that was not that was less than 10 years ago.
I think you can beat it.
38 days is a really long time. I don't think so.
Oh man,
Can't camp for-
he's stunk.
Denise has been camping. Denise went camping for a weekend. Second night, she was in a hotel room.
Everyone else was still at the campsite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very interesting.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and I mean, it's actually a great ending to the
It is.
story that you end up. It turned into a food drive. That's
amazing.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah. The last fact that I want to spout out is that Canada celebrates their Thanksgiving in October, but they celebrate our Black Friday with us.
Oh, do they really?
And in England, Thanksgiving is just another oxymoronic holiday for the ungrateful colonials. But in both countries, they celebrate Black Friday on the same day we do. In England, they have a Black Friday. I don't know if celebrate is the right word, but they have Black Friday the same day we do, even though they don't celebrate Thanksgiving at all.
So what's their Thursday? Just a Thursday?
Just a Thursday, I guess. Friday's a day to like suddenly come down with the flu, I would imagine.
Do you think they have as many shootings in both those countries as we do?
I highly doubt they do.
Nobody has more shootings.
Nobody has
than
more
we
shootings
do.
than the United
We're
States.
number one.
That is
So-
Hey,
unfortunately
James,
true.
why do they call it Black Friday? Do you know?
I think that was a term from people who worked in retail, knowing that there were Thanksgiving Day sales, and it was usually the kickoff to the holidays. So if you were, like I, for a short time, was one of those guys in a referee shirt working at Foot Locker, and I can tell you Black Friday sucked. It was terrible.
So the
Everybody
retail
can-
workers coined the
I think
term.
so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
That makes
It
sense.
certainly is not the corporations who are making billions of dollars off that day.
So they coined it. The retail workers who did not want to go
I
on
believe
that Friday.
so. And if anybody wants to fact check me, you know where to find me. So anyway, so that's it. So the moral of the story is come over to my place, sip a beer, watch the football game, and then join me for my annual Christmas shopping fun run on December 23rd. that I do every single year.
Every year. Like every year since the day I met you and we celebrated Christmas together, you do your shopping on the 23rd. It is insane.
Yep.
It used to be a money issue because you didn't get paid until the 22nd. It seemed like everyone gets that paycheck like 2 days before Christmas. So it was always a money issue.
Yeah.
What is it now? Like, what legitimately is it now?
I don't know. I'm busy.
Okay. You're busy all year up until December 23rd.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So last but not least, we're going to do a quick top 5.
Yes.
And that is going to be, I want to hear your top 5 favorite Thanksgiving foods.
Okay.
You got them?
I do.
You're prepared. All
I
right.
am.
Let's do it.
Okay. So it's going to be obviously turkey. That is, I still like turkey. I'm not doing fish, pork, or beef. I like stuffing. I like sweet potatoes. I like mashed potatoes. And I like the dinner rolls. Those are my 5 favorite. Like, just give me that plate.
I think you named like 6 or 7 things.
No. Turkey, sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, rolls, and stuffing.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I didn't put gravy down. I probably I could change gravy with rolls, but I'm fine if I didn't have the gravy. Although,
All right. So let me give you mine.
No,
Number 1, gravy. Number 2, turkey. Number 3, stuffing. Number 4, pumpkin pie. And number 5, I also have those little store-bought rolls filled with chemicals and preservatives.
Yeah, they're good.
So good.
Yeah.
What's your least favorite Thanksgiving foods?
You know what this one is, top of my list. Green beans. I hate green beans. I've hated them my whole life.
What about green bean casserole?
I like, when I even think of green beans. Yeah, green bean casserole. I don't care what the green beans. It could be laced in gold. I hate green beans.
But one year, Lake Havasu, you guys had the green beans with like the shaved pecans.
I didn't eat
the
it.
shaved almonds
I didn't
or
eat
whatever.
it.
That was pretty good.
I don't eat it. I hate green beans.
I love some green beans. I'm a country boy.
This is not your list.
Okay, go on.
Okay. Then I hate canned cranberries.
Canned cranberry.
Okay, if it's on a plate, you can throw that in the trash. I will never eat canned cranberries. Okay. And then I don't bring me ham. It's not Easter. Okay. It's Thanksgiving. And then the other thing I really hate is any recipe that you have taken and made it your own. Like, don't add quinoa to my stuffing.
Oh.
Don't put rice in that.
Yeah. People get a little hippy-dippy with the stuffing sometimes.
Don't add pecans and brown sugar and all that stuff to sweet potatoes. Like, just make it simple.
They're looking at you like you wouldn't last a day at a Southern Thanksgiving.
This is blasphemy. What are you talking about?
She just wants
the white girl sweet potatoes, which is...
She just wants her sweet potatoes served with despair.
Okay, no. I'm telling you how I like my sweet potatoes. A little cinnamon and a little brown sugar with some butter. I like them mashed, but I don't want candied pecans and all that stuff on it. So anything that you divert from the norm of the food, I will not eat.
Okay.
So there.
All right. Let me give you my list.
Okay.
Salad. Seriously, don't be keto on Thanksgiving. There's no reason to put a tossed green salad on the table.
Agreed.
That's ridiculous. Like, seriously, what are we doing here?
I know. It's stupid.
That's what Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of Thanksgiving week is for. You're getting in training so that when you are on Thanksgiving, when you're at the table on Thanksgiving, you're ravenous and you just smash your head like a bear getting a fish out of the river into a plate of gravy. Okay?
Is that what you do?
That's what I do.
Okay.
You've seen it.
I have.
Broccoli casserole or anything like it, don't bother. Don't bother. Don't bring your fancy like summer casserole. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't look right on the table with everything else. Jell-O. Anything with Jell-O. I've been to places where
love Jell-O.
Like, on Thanksgiving, come on.
With bananas.
That's disgusting. Moving on. In that same spirit, anything with marshmallows in it. Sweet potatoes, ambrosia, black.
Ambrosia.
There's no point in putting marshmallows or for s'mores, and that is it.
Okay.
Anyway, and last but not least, I agree with you. Do not bring a ham to Thanksgiving dinner. That's just silly. That's what Christmas is for.
I say Easter.
Yeah. Easter. So anyway, okay. So that's your list. That's my list.
Yeah.
We good on Thanksgiving, Plymouth,
good.
Mass?
Yep.
All right. So that's going to wrap up our end of November episode. Thank you for hanging with us for the holidays. We really appreciate you guys. And we're going to take them out.
Empty nest, full tank.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.